Thank you for tuning in to Love in Your Hands with Cynthia Clark, the podcast about how to live life with love. This podcast is sponsored by loveinyourhands.com, the place to go to find long-lasting love using the most innovative and accurate algorithm based in scientific palmistry. Tired of superficial connections? Start your free soulmate connection membership today at loveinyourhands.com. Now here's your host, Cynthia Clark, palm reading consultant and compatibility expert. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. I'm Cynthia Clark, and I am always excited to talk about things that bring us closer to love and relationships. And this includes our relationships with ourselves, with our other fellow humans and cultures. And today is going to be a really interesting topic regarding the Polynesian culture. So I'm really excited to dive into today's guest and pick his brain and learn all about it. So, but I always like to start out with a little palm reading. And I thought it would be fun to look at the heart line today and just take a quick look at, do you have what's called a giving heart line? And I want to preface this, okay? Some people think that there are quote unquote good heart lines and bad heart lines. And this is actually not true at all. I want to stress that because every single type of heart line is actually good. It's all fine. One is not better or worse than another. It simply is showing a tendency in the emotional space. Okay, so your heart line represents your emotional flow. Okay, it's located at the top of your hand, and it's going to start underneath your little finger, and it's going to run either towards the middle finger or towards your index finger, and it can either be straight or it can be curved. Okay, now if you have what's called the giving heart line, you are going to have a long heart line. Okay, so your heart line is going to run and it's going to end underneath your index finger. And if it's straight, that means that you keep your emotions more inside. And if it's curved, it means you're more expressive in your emotions. And again, one type is not better or worse than another. It's simply showing your natural tendency. And I always tell people to be who you are, be your type. So it's important to know, first of all, what your heart line is saying, and then it's important to express your natural tendencies, because when we go against our nature, that's when we actually run into problems. So that's today's palm reading lesson. So if you have that long heart line, you better be looking at how can I give, how can I serve, because that's your natural energy. And we want to do that, of course, in a healthy way. So today's guest, I'm really excited to learn all about his topic. We've got Stephen Carbon, who is a lifelong musician, writer, and photographer from Lewis, Delaware. Performing and playing live shows with his band Carbon 14 has given him the pleasure to entertain the musical spirit and vibe of many people over the years. He sees and feels the enjoyment of music and lyrics in people and the happiness it brings to life from the creative realm. I love that. So the embrace of Polynesian people, ambitions of life, and wanderings of the soul have brought him to the island of Kauai, Hawaii. There, Carbon resides on the sunny south shore of Poipo Beach, heart-blessed to write and be inspired, to express the spirit and imagery of gardens beauty in his own creative experience. So we're going to learn all about the Aloha Spirit of Hawaii. So thank you, Stephen, for coming on the show.
Thank you, Cynthia, for the invitation. It's a great, exciting moment to be here with you.
So tell us a little bit about the Aloha Spirit. Like, how would you describe that?
Yeah, the Aloha Spirit it's not unique to the Hawaiians. It's can be interpreted in various cultures. but it is a combination of the physical, mental, and spiritual realm of one's pursuit in life and how they interpret the world around them. And the Aloha Spirit is an ancient part of their culture. It's very prevalent in today's conversation, visiting Hawaii and throughout Polynesia. It has much more of a deeper meaning than just a hello or goodbye connotation, which is how a lot of people interpret it, the aloha, the word
Mm-hmm.
aloha, as
Sure.
meaning hello, goodbye, a greeting of sorts, but it actually goes a lot deeper than that in it being the sort of a cohesiveness of mental, spiritual, and physical being.
Mm.
That's
Sounds beautiful.
new. It's sort of a new, Eastern concept of of perception, very different from the Western ideals I grew up with on the East Coast here.
Mm.
So it's given me a whole new perspective and enlightenment, you might say, on life in general, and it's influenced me greatly over the years of visiting the islands and interacting with the people and the culture to be able to put this book together that I think is sort of my own interpretation of the spirit of aloha.
Yes, we're going to get into that. Yes, I'm really excited to talk about that.
Very cool.
First, I want to talk a little bit about your background as a musician. How did you first get into playing music, and tell us about that?
Yeah. Well, music's been a big part of my life over the years since I was very, very young and beginning guitarist and started in a high school pursuit of passion and music. And since forth going, over the years, I've started this band, Carbon 14, and it's just been an ongoing pursuit of musical love and passion that I enjoy playing live shows, writing music, performing with other musicians. It just has, just been a lifelong pursuit and interest in my life. I just started as any other guy starts playing guitar
Uh-huh.
and then it evolved from there into, full scale, rock band in my earlier, years
Mm-hmm.
that, enabled me to play a lot of live festivals and events and different venues that just, kind of build upon themselves and just created a better understanding for myself of people and the world around me.
Yeah, and music touches us in so many ways too, because it really opens up that emotional response.
Yes.
So I find music to be very therapeutic and healing just for, all sorts of emotional
Yeah.
stuff. You hear that song that's really special and it just can make you cry and just opens up this floodgate sometimes. It's pretty intense.
Can trigger any variety of emotions that you're
Yeah.
experiencing
Yeah.
and either can provide consolation, enjoyment, just and just a sense of happiness in your soul. And,
Yeah.
and it's all pervasive throughout all cultures of the world, I think, that
Mm.
what music brings to people.
So do you play all types of music now, or do you mainly
Yeah,
focus on
yeah,
um yeah, what
yeah.
what kind of music do you play?
Right now, I mean, we play a variety of music from the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. We're pretty much a variety style rock band that plays, you know, we're a very dance oriented type party band is what I like
Mm.
to say, like
Yeah,
we're
uplifting
here,
sounds like.
we're here to bring the fun,
Yeah,
and
sure.
excitement through the night. And I mean, a lot of our material goes all the way back to, early Beatles and Rolling Stones to some more 80s and 90s bands. And then just some more modern type music as well, but with a focus on sort of a dance, groove, funk oriented, uh, feel to the music to get people involved, to get them up and going.
Mm-hmm.
Our goal is to entertain and have fun, and not get too serious about it, but just get
Right.
in,
Yeah.
in my earlier years were more focused on promoting independent CDs and albums and
Mm-hmm.
promoting my own music and publishing my own music. And then it just evolved now into more just a passionate hobby of playing live for people and
Mm-hmm.
bringing the
So,
music that they enjoy, and
uh-huh. So do you write your own lyrics as
yeah,
well?
yes,
Yeah, because
yes, yeah. I'm a lyricist. I sort of have this cross between poetry and lyrics of songs. I kind of not know where they both come together sometimes.
I would say it's a total crossover. Yeah, I mean, music is poetry, right? And
That's,
yeah,
yeah,
poetry can be turned into music. So yeah,
exactly.
yeah,
And
that's
that's one of my future goals actually with this current book that I've written is to work with some Hawaiian musicians
mm.
and turn it into a musical type of CD
Yeah, so
concept. And,
let's lead into the book. So tell us, how did you end up writing this book, and tell us about it.
yeah, well, I've been traveling back and forth to the island of Kauai for a few years, and I've developed a real passion for the island and people and the culture, and all the trips I've made there. I to my residence, and just living the island life, so to speak, has just influenced me greatly to put this book together as my own sort of homage to the spirit of aloha and the people that have blessed me with that experience in life. So
Mm.
it's about my own creative interpretation of my experience with the culture and the lifestyle. And it's been a great, strong influence of my life over the last 10 years. And it's enabled me to, create a lot of poetic lyrics that, just seem to come naturally as a natural expression of thought. And the,
So tell us a little bit about your creative style. Do you, for example, do you go out to the beach like with the sun, or do you stay inside and have like your own little sanctuary, or how does somebody tap into that creative aspect of themselves?
well, it usually starts out doing photography when I'm either early morning sunrise, go along the beach areas and photograph various scenery, sunrises, and then throughout the day into the late afternoon, evenings. So I get a lot of ideas through my photography. It's where those ideas and concepts kind of arise. It's a certain picture that I take just triggers a certain emotion inside me to write the, the poem that image conveys to me.
Mm,
That's sort of my influence is the photography, but then other times it's just a lyric, or it's a line that just comes to you throughout the day that I comes to me during the day. I usually write at nighttime when it's a
mm,
little quieter, and,
mm-hmm.
and I'm just kind of get self-absorbed into what I'm
Yeah.
you know thinking about, and then
Mhm.
usually the poetry comes during the night, but it's influenced throughout the day's
Uh-huh.
event, so to
Yeah.
speak. And
Hmm.
but I kind of draw on just the natural scenery of the island, just the appeal of the local people and their friendliness. And then the book itself is sort of a mystery of, is it an island love, or is it a person that I'm in love with? I kind of vacillate between that whole conceptual, love story.
Mm.
So I'm not quite sure where it goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sort of my own, I'm not sure exactly if what who I'm writing about, but it definitely is about a love for the islands and
Mm.
the island of Kauai, especially.
Yeah.
And that's
And
where
that's
most.
that's one island I haven't been to yet. Oh, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I've been to Maui, I've been to Oahu, I've been to
Mhm.
Big Island.
Yeah,
Uh,
they all have their own unique style and flavor
it's on
of,
my
of the,
list to go
yeah.
to Kauai as well.
Hawaii is a it's more old school Hawaii, we like to
Uh-huh.
say, where it's you still have some tourism, but you don't have as much of the high rise vacation condominium concept going on there. You can't really build anything above the height of the palm trees on the island.
Mm.
So it's very, and 90% of the island you can't even access by car. So it's mostly, if you want to see Kauai, it's either on foot, on bike, or by helicopter. And so,
Interesting.
but it's got the most amazing, scenery that I've ever photographed and had the pleasure of just being inspired by.
Yeah, the islands are beautiful.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
Maui's very beautiful,
Hmm.
and the Big Island has its own unique,
Yeah,
style to it.
right. Yeah,
So,
with the
so
volcano and
each
everything.
one, yeah, yeah. It's a much newer island, we like to say,
Yes,
but
it is a very young island.
uh,
Kauai is much
so
older.
yeah. Kauai is the oldest of the Hawaiian island chain. So it's the
Yeah.
farthest western island.
Mhm.
So it's had a lot more years of the rainforest growing, prolifically throughout.
Mhm.
So,
So, when people go to visit, what would you recommend for them that they do or that they
yes.
try that they need to do to connect
Yeah.
to the land?
Yeah. Well, there's some beautiful beaches that should definitely be checked out. Some on the North Shore. There's a beautiful surfing town there called Hanalei up on the North Shore of Kauai. There's also some great, state parks there where you can hike through what we call the Kalalau Trail. It's like this 17-mile hiking trail back through the mountains. And the northern part of Kauai is a lot more uh, rustic, so to
Mm.
speak.
Mhm.
And but there's some beautiful hiking trails up on that part of the island. Some great beaches for snorkeling, surfing, scuba diving. Hanalei is well known for some beautiful photographs that I've that have been emulated by other photographers over the years. And
Mm.
but it's a beautiful place. What we call the Nepali coast is up there, and that's this huge area of cliffside, spires that are along the Pacific Ocean that
Mm. Sounds beautiful.
really awe-inspiring to witness for sure. And
Yeah.
then you can hike back through those trails, which is incredibly, unique and
Mm.
fun.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of fun.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of people, that's what they go there for. It's just to hike the Kalalau Trail, it's called. And it
Hmm.
just has a, world renowned,
Yeah.
hiking area. That's on the North Shore. Obviously, there's some other smaller beach towns up on that area, Kilauea, some other towns farther down the coast called Anahola, Lahui. These are all coastal towns. Um, and then you get down to the southern part of the island, it's a little more, um, it's a sunnier side of the island. Usually the northern part is a lot more rain, afternoon rain, or, because it's very rainy and wet up there.
Hmm.
Southern part of the island stays is a little sunnier and dry. And towns there, some beautiful beaches. Poipu Beach is spectacular, very tourist oriented. And then you can go farther out western to the western part of the island. Some other towns like Hanapepe. It's a great artist town where they have art festivals going on like every Friday night. Great outdoor events with entertainment, live shows, a lot of vendors.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an arts music type festival that goes on every week there.
Mm. Sounds like
Well,
fun.
yeah, it's a beautiful little town that
Yeah.
spend the evening at, and then if you go farther to the western part of the island, there's some great beaches out there that
Mm.
are a little more desolate, a lot more warmer, but they're beautiful and just great place to spend the day at Polly Holly Beach, we call it. But there's some beautiful scenery throughout the whole island, but it's got this variety of sort of rainforesty area to more sunny areas, more desert type regions, depending on the
Mm-hmm.
island. And one of the most spectacular things I've ever seen and witnessed is what's called Waimea Canyon.
Mm.
And it's this huge canyon that looks like the Grand Canyon, so to speak. In fact, Mark Twain was there once, and he dubbed it the Grand Canyon of the Pacific.
Mm. Wow, that sounds exciting.
And it's a beautiful, valley. It's almost a mile deep, and obviously not the size of the Grand Canyon, but it's got
Right.
that
Sure.
perspective when you see it for the first time.
Yeah.
But it's got all this lush tropical greenery to it.
Mm-hmm.
So and then it's
Yeah.
got all the rock. It's got all the rock strata and different. You
Mm-hmm.
can see all the different. And then obviously there's huge waterfalls and
Oh,
hiking trails.
sounds
All
amazing.
kinds of hiking trails back through the canyon that you can take. But
Sounds
it's
like a place to really heal and open your heart, is what
yes,
I get from that. So,
yeah, it is. It gives you a chance to kind of reconnect with
mm-hmm.
yourself. 'Cause you can't help but feel spiritually touched by this place.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it. You know,
Mm.
it's,
Well, thanks for sharing your knowledge of it and your imagery of it. That's beautiful.
well,
So, I was wondering if maybe we could read an excerpt from your book.
sure.
And
Yeah,
would
well,
you like to pick a passage, or would you like?
sure. Yes. Yeah, if you don't mind,
Yeah,
I'll
I
read
would
a
like that.
short passage. Okay. All right. Don't mind. I have to have a copy right here. So, yes.
Yeah, I thought that'd be a good way to kind of finish up the show, and then
Sure.
um,
Yeah. This
people
has,
can people can really tune
yeah.
into the feeling of this place.
Yes. Yeah. This is an excerpt from a poem I wrote called Prisms. And this is just sort of my own reflection of sitting along the beach, watching the sunset, and just taking in all the scenery and sounds of nature, and just just kind of basking in the glow of serenity of island life. But it's goes like this: a friendship of aloha is beyond horizons yet to be found, where the prisms of the sun kiss the sea. Clouds of cumulus disappear into the mist of the Makai. Opulence of earth and sky meet dreams of humanity. Reflections and brilliance of nature's creation weave the fabric of life, gentle reminders of faith beyond our horizons. To touch the softness of early evening stars in the warmth of another hand. Eyes of blue meet darkness of hers on the caress of waves. Islands and worlds apart, but a dream shared by my wandering poetic heart.
Mm, that's beautiful.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, beautiful. So how do people find your book, and is there anything else you'd like to share?
Certainly, yeah. The book, is available through a number of websites. Specifically, my own website is poetryofaloha.com, where people can log on and email me, and I will personally send a autographed copy out to them if they order through my website. It's also available online in both online versions through Amazon and Barnes and Noble and Kindle. It is available in 3 different versions: online, soft cover, and hardcover versions. And so I do have it advertised through my publisher as well through their website. But predominantly people can go to Amazon right now. They are running some sale pricing on new editions currently. So very good offers going right there. And then certainly they can get it at any Barnes and Noble local bookstore near them. So
Okay, great. Well, thank
that.
you. Yeah,
You're
thank you
very
so much for
welcome.
coming on the show. This has been a lot of fun.
Great. Well, I appreciate you letting me share a little island spirit with you today.
Yeah, I can feel it. It's terrific. So remember, everyone, that you can live life with love. So get out there and do it. And we'll connect with you again really soon. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you for listening to Love in Your Hands. Please rate, review, and subscribe to show your support. This podcast is sponsored by loveinyourhands.com, the place to find the secret ingredients to your soulmate. Start your free Soulmate Connection membership today using the most innovative and accurate algorithm to match you to potential long-lasting love, all at loveinyourhands.com.